All right, we're here with Craig DeLuz again. Now, for Conservative Media, we are just starting up this new contest. It's called the Conservative Media Hottie of the Month. Now, we are going to have lots of unbelievably really hot, fine Republican and conservative women that are going to, you know, talk about their conservative values, why they're conservatives, and also, you know, basically showcasing the best and the finest in American beauty for the viewers out there. But I had a special request, and we want to be equal opportunity employers here at CNN, right? To have a male version of this, and in fact, you yourself got nominated by, well, I'll just say it, you know, the Ukrainian hottie, Ali Varbanez. And so, you know, what do you have to say about that? And tell us why you're conservative and why you always look so fly.
Oh, well, you can thank my wife of 17 years. You know, I'm honored. It's always nice to be considered a hottie, especially when you get to my age.
I hear that.
But you know what? Hey, you know, I think, you know, I'm speechless. I'm kind of speechless.
No. Look. Let's start with step one. I mean, what got you into being a conservative?
Well, it was because I realized that there were values that work and values that don't. And in the end, conservative values work and liberal values don't. And I realized that if I wanted my children to be able to grow up in the prosperous world that I grew up in, if I want them to have the same opportunities that I had, well, then you know what? I need to make sure that those values remain at the center of who we are.
Absolutely. Now, you always look great. You got a great look going on. How do you do that? What got you into the fashion? What makes the Craig DeLuz look?
Well, first of all, I'll tell you, about 20 years in the gym.
Yeah, I seen that. Now, did you play some sports? What did you do?
I did play in high school. I played football and ran track. Played a little bit of college football, very little bit of college football. Actually, what got me into working out was I dislocated my shoulder, and the doctor told me that I had a 90% chance of doing it again if I didn't get into the gym. And, you know, I just started to realize, I realized how good I felt when I worked out. I realized, you know, the endorphins, and I realized just the idea of feeling good and looking good really made a positive difference. It helped not just my self-esteem, but it helped my energy and all of that. In terms of my appearance, you know, I'm a big believer in you know, first impressions, you know, the impression that you give people. You know, I feel like if you want people to believe that you're about something, then you need to look like you're about something.
I got you.
You know, it's important to address appropriate for whatever your situation is. The other thing is, I don't believe that you got to spend a lot of money to look nice.
So you really know how to dress it up, but do it in a smart way. So I mean, give some of the viewers out there maybe some tips on how they can be a more of a GQ kind of fashionable male kind of thing.
Well, the first thing is, one of the things I do, I don't wait until I need something to go buy it. A lot of times what I'll do is, or to go shopping, a lot of times what I'll do is, you know, I'll have time in between meetings. You know, I'll stop by a store like a Ross or a Marshall's or a Burlington or a Macy's, and guess what? Every once in a while, I'll come across something that's really nice at a really good price. I got you. And it'll give me the ability to then be able to purchase it. The other thing is, you know, necessity drives up price. So, dude, if you wait till you need a white dress shirt,
now you're stuck.
You're going to spend more money on that white dress shirt. If you wait until you need a suit in order to buy a suit, it's going to cost you a lot more. You know, look for the deals, look for the bargains, and also the other thing is, dude, match your colors. Don't go out looking like you got dressed in the dark. Wear things that look good on you, not things that are fashionable. Don't spend the big money on the things that are fashionable. Wear things that look good on you. You can accessorize with the inexpensive things that are fashionable, but primarily wear what looks good on you.
So you're a new breed of conservative. I mean, you're bringing cool and sexy back to the conservative cause right here. Now, how do you feel about that? Is that important to you? And how's that go with the country club crew?
Well, it is important because, you know, you get the people who say, okay, well, you only need to wear the gray suit, the black suit,
so boring,
brown suit. You need to make sure you wear the red tie. You know, you wear you know what? The point is, look good, look put together. You want to look put together. That's the most important thing. And when you look put together, and here's the thing, when you look good, you feel good.
Right.
And when you feel good, you exude that to others.
Yes.
Right? That sort of confidence. And as a party, I think so much we're caught up in this stodgy, you know, there's a reason why everyone thinks that we're one particular way. That's because we all look alike, we all dress alike. And you know what? it's time to get out of that a little bit.
Like little clones, like old fat white dudes with the bow ties and that, whatever. I mean, that's cool if that's your thing, but that's so boring, man. You need to broaden it out, and you're broadening it out.
I wasn't gonna say that. I wasn't gonna.
See, I'll tell.
I wasn't gonna.
I can say that.
But you know what? Dress for the occasion, man. You know, I'll tell you, when I'm hanging out, when I'm in Del Paso Heights, I'm dressed completely different. When I'm in a business meeting, I'm dressed a certain way. However I'm dressed appropriate for the occasion.
Right. How do you expect people to vote for you if you're basically saying with your clothes and your apparel that I'm better than you?
Well, exactly. And the other thing is, you know, it doesn't really matter what you have. Whatever you have, make sure it looks nice. You know, it doesn't have to be expensive. Make sure it looks nice. Your shoes, make sure they're shine. You know, your suit, make sure.
My dad, that was his biggest thing ever.
The freaking shoes. Yeah, make sure your shoes are shine. Make sure your shirt is ironed.
Basics. So now, what do you do? What kind of workout do you have? What kind of diet do you have? How do you keep looking this good when you're on the campaign trail and you're doing all your stuff and you get a little older?
Well, I'll tell you, my wife plays a very, very big role. The older you get, the more you realize diet plays a huge factor in it. You know, I like red meat, but I don't eat a lot of red meat. Every once in a while, I'll get me some red meat. You know, I don't abstain from it, but I get a little bit of it. A lot of things we've done, a lot of it is little things. You know, cutting sugar out of your diet, not having a lot of sugar, eating whole wheat instead of eating like just empty white wheat stuff. Not eating until you're full, but eating until you're not hungry. So in terms of diet, it's really just a lot of common sense thing. No high fructose corn syrup or any of that stuff. The next thing is when it comes to working out, you know, I'm at a point now where I'm not trying to build muscle size or anything like that. I'm trying to maintain. So I get up 5 o'clock every morning. Me and my son, 14-year-old son, are at the gym, lifting 4 days a week. I do cardio 3 days a week. No, nothing huge. You know, I'm not out there lifting massive, huge weights, and, you know, unless, you know, my testosterone's kicking up a little bit. But, you know, I'm lifting once again to maintain. Maintain, you know, both my physical health, but also in order to maintain how I look. Doing the cardio, doing the stretching, making sure that I'm keeping those basics and doing something that's not so hard that I'm not going to be able to keep it up and maintain it. And been able to do that pretty well for 20 years. That's
awesome. So 2 quick questions to wrap this up. The first question is, what is the sexiest thing about being a conservative, or the sexiest issue that you think we have going out there?
Well, the first is individual responsibility, and individual rights. You can't have individual rights without individual responsibility, right? That's what we're all about. Dude, that's sexy. That's just saying, look, you know what? I'm down for mine.
You're your own man.
Exactly. See, when you don't have self-governance, when you don't have individual rights and responsibility, then you're not your own man. Someone else owns you.
That's like being John Wayne. That's Ronald Reagan. That's standing tall in the saddle, or riding tall in the saddle. The whole thing. I love that. I love what you're. The second thing I want to know, to wrap it up, is, where did you meet your wife, and where did you go on your first date?
Okay, met my wife at California State University, Chico. Okay. Chico State. I remember we were going to it was a summer program that she was in. I was actually an instructor in the program. I was an outgoing senior. She was an incoming freshman. And I remember
see how it works.
I remember telling my sister, I said, okay, I'm going. She asked me where I was going. I said, I'm going to meet my future wife.
There we go.
Look, sure enough, met her. Dude, it was lust at first sight. I didn't know her to love her. I love her now. Honey, I love you. 17 years, man. My wife, by the way, is a hottie.
Oh, yeah. Well,
website, check it out. She is a hottie.
We look forward to talking with her in depth. I tell you what, this is fantastic. I love that in-depth type of stuff. Craig DeLuz, the Conservative New Media Male Hottie of the Month. Fantastic. Sir.
Thank you, sir.